2023 is a really interesting time to be alive. If you went back 50 years ago and you asked Americans what it would be like, they would probably light up with wonder. They would have visions of the future and technological progress man could hardly imagine. Just think about Back to the Future 2. In 1985, they believed 2015 would be a land of different dress, of hoverboards, of technology which would radically transform the American way of life. The real answer was far more depressing. 2015 really wasn't all that different from 1985. The cars were more fuel efficient, we had the internet, and our economy became 100 times more financialized. Wages were mostly flat, most people's work schedules were exactly the same, but more importantly, the pace of technological progress did not catch up in the way that we envisioned. In the words of venture capitalist Peter Thiel, we were promised flying cars, all we got was 140 characters. The characters, though, being a reference to Twitter, which I guess today, if you pay for Twitter Blue, it's unlimited. But you get my point. This has been my view of the world now for quite some time, and it's why I was not surprised at all with a recent poll that took some neoliberals by great surprise. More Americans today say that life for people like them is worse today than it was 50 years ago. Some 58% in 2023 versus just 42% in July of 2021. This crosses party lines and now maintains a sizable majority of Americans. You dig deeper and you actually see more signs of rot. As Pew notes, quote, sizable majorities of U.S. adults say in 2050, over 25 years away, the U.S. economy will be weaker. The United States will be less important in the world. Political divisions will be wider, and there will be a large gap between rich and poor. As for how people think things are going, quote, Americans' negative views of the nation's future are influenced by their bleak assessments of current conditions. Only 19% say they are satisfied with the way things are going. 80% are dissatisfied. Ratings of the economy remain largely negative. An increasing share of public expects economic conditions to worsen over the next year. This is bleak stuff, but it bears investigation. If most people think the country isn't doing well, who actually thinks that it is? The answer won't surprise you. The only people who believe the country is doing well and will continue doing well are those above the age of 65, especially boomer Democrats. Now you might ask, why would boomers have such confidence in the US and the current system? It's easy to have that confidence when you have a paid-for house that you got for cheap, retirement savings, which boomed over the course of your life. If you're my age at 31, good luck starting at the same place as the boomers. You rightfully should have zero confidence that you will likely get to where they are, or even the same, with the same amount of work, or possibly even more. That's the fundamental divide. It's one that the people who need to internalize who run this country. To propagandize you, they're going to throw many things at you, which are technically not wrong. Like, for example, but life expectancy is so much better. Yeah, true, a couple of years more. And yet, in recent years, we have seen the worst decline in life expectancy in the U.S. since World War I. Many of those deaths having nothing to do with COVID. They'll say, yes, but GDP growth is better than ever. Again, technically true. And yet, wages have grown only by 17%, while productivity has grown at 62%. In other words, real wage increases have not captured the actual economic gains of the economy and fall far short of the previous wage and productivity growth from the pre-1970s era. They want you to believe that because TVs are cheaper and you have a smartphone in your pocket, that you are so much better off, or that because you will technically live 2 years longer, then that's everything. Yet, medical costs have gone up thousands of percent since that time. Don't think that life extension is free, is it? If anything, you will die a few years later, but much, much unhealthier today than you would have been in 1973. And it brings me back to one of my favorite graphics of all time from the website WTF Happened in 1971. Here's 1971 cost of living. A brand new house in 1971 was 2.5 times average income. Today, the average price in the U.S., home price in the U.S., is 5 times the average income. A new car in 1971 was 1/3 the average income. Today, a new car price is about 56% of the average income. Average rent in the United States in 1971 was $150. Adjusted for inflation, that's around $1,100 today. Today, the average rent for an apartment is $1,700. Harvard tuition in 1971, adjusted for inflation, was about $19,000 in today's money in 1971. Of course, Harvard's tuition today is $54,000. Since Harvard is an outlier, consider yearly tuition for college in 1971. For a public university, it was $3,200 in today's money, yearly tuition. Today, average public university tuition is $25,000. $1,000. Should I go on? Don't let people gaslight you. Sure, 50 years ago, you wouldn't have a cell phone or an LCD TV. But on average, life was not all that bad. Just ask the silent generation and the boomers. It worked out great for them. The point is, it's not working out that well for us. So don't blame us for saying that things are not going to be great in the future and that we would rather live in the past. Our futures were mortgaged, squandered in the name of globalization, and sold under false pretenses to the American people. And this will be the defining issue of our time. If this is not at the top of mind for every single politician today, they don't belong in their jobs at all.
Hey guys, ready or not, 2024 is fully upon us now, and Saagar and I have been brainstorming ways that we can really up our game for this critical election.
Yeah, we rely on our premium subs to expand our coverage, to add staff, to upgrade the studio. We just want to give you the best independent coverage of this election, which is possible. So if you can help us out, become a premium subscriber today, breakingpoints.com, or the link is down here in the description video. It really means the world to us, and if you like what we're all about, this is the best possible way to keep us 100% independent, working only for you.